Hey guys, welcome back to Blisters 94. This is just sort of like a very quick video I want to point out here as I want to talk a lot about a recent thing that happened. I don't want to say I left Discord, but I, for the most part, will not be as active on Discord. Like I completely deleted my server. I left a bunch of servers, and there's a really good reason why. So I'm just gonna dial a little bit back and say that Discord for me is getting to a point where it's like you're testing someone, like you're testing a friend, hoping that they will, respond back to you and like talk to you, etc. But it just goes to be this very unhealthy obsession where you can't really expect much. Like you're expecting calls or messages and they never happen, and it just turns out like they just don't care, or it turns out like yeah, it's not really a good environment for you to be with and socialize with that certain individual or group. And that's sort of how I felt towards Discord. In the very beginning, I joined Discord when I felt more like a degenerate. Like I simply was just doing nothing but feeling just very depressed and wanting to hang out with a lot of people. Because I wanted to make friends. I wanted to simply just hang out with a community over a certain passion, and that passion was chess. But then over time, I felt as if, you know, well, over time, just I knew I had this feeling. I knew in myself that this was unhealthy and that I probably should not be doing this. I should probably should get off Discord. It's not the thing that I should be doing. And over time, it got even worse as I wasn't even using it as active anymore. I remember every day I would just be spamming, spamming, spamming. Every single server was in just spamming and spamming. Yo, who's up? Yo, can you do this? Yo, can we talk? Yo, can we hang out? Can we play Blitz, etc. I would be always hanging out, always wanting to talk to people. And it got to the point again where it just wasn't any fun anymore. I felt like I was just genuinely struggling, and I was doing anything to get people's attention. Um, and it didn't really feel healthy. It didn't feel normal. It didn't feel okay. So much so that I realized just a couple days ago, let me start fresh. It's 2026. I need to prioritize what I think is best for my health, and so that led to the best scenario, which is I am leaving Discord. I don't want to say completely, but I am leaving it somewhat partially. I deleted my own server as in my server, I had people who legit just wanted to troll me and hate me. I didn't even feel comfortable being in my own server. My own server, which I made many years ago, I could not feel comfortable at all because I just had people who just enjoyed nothing except simply laughing at me and bullying me. And I just did not want to be a part of it. And the fact that it even happened in my own server just made it all the more saddening to me. Like I don't see a point in being with a community, even my own community. I didn't want to be in a place that was like my own home. I didn't want to be in that server. So I simply had to leave it, unfortunately, which made me very sad. And I decided to delete it, because I don't want to be a part of that. And I don't want to say the same thing goes out to other communities because I don't want to take away all the negatives. Like all negatives for me doesn't mean necessarily that it's a bad thing. Like, for example, there is this one server I did leave, but I did say I would come back in 2027, which is Moon's chess club or fan club, on what's called. It's a really nice Discord server. Essentially, you have this one guy whose name is Moon Warrior, and he's like a streamer, promotes chess. He's like a chess.com streamer. This guy before was a very social guy. Like every time I kept talking to him, he would like respond to forums, etc. Then again, it could be that he's busy. I really don't know. But the fact that he was just like never really responding as he usually would, or simply just be doing a lot of stuff, like it didn't really feel the same. It felt more or less like I want to talk to this guy, but this guy doesn't really want to talk to me. So it just kind of felt like very sad. Like it felt like I was talking to a wall. And most of the players in, when I say players, most of the members in the server, they just kept trolling me. They kept trolling me. Like some of them were nice. Even some of them I striked up very nice conversations with, and I genuinely enjoyed their company. They're really nice people, etc. Not all of them are bad, but just so many trolls, etc. They'll just keep laughing at me and trolling me. They didn't give a shit about me. They really don't. They just enjoyed um, seeing me just feel like crap, and you know, it is what it is. Like I think that's simply again another reason why I just chose to leave, because who wants to be a part of a community that does not give a shit about you? And that's simply how I felt personally. So if I do return to that server, I do not know. I'll let you know. But not to say it's a bad server. If you want to prove your chess, here are the pros of the Moon server. They have a lot of prize fund events. They have a lot of title players. Specifically, they have Andrew Tang. I'm not sure if they have more grandmasters that are very elite, but I know they have Andrew Tang. Um, they have a lot of prize funds, a lot of weird giveaways like Nitro, etc. And it's a really nice community. But again, at least to me, like it just doesn't feel the same way as it did years ago. So it leaves a very sad and sour taste in my mouth that I wish I could just not have. But that's just the way that things are. You know, personally, again, maybe I do rejoin them in like a year or so, or maybe I delay even further. I'm not really sure. But for me personally, again, I simply just cannot view things the same way as I wish I could. And again, it's just very, very saddening, to feel like no one really cares that much. And I remember in the Leeches Discord, actually, earlier in the day, one of the people who actually watched my YouTube channel, and he actually was like my teammate, for the Leeches Discord. There's the Bundesliga, which is like this tournament they do weekly where teams can compete, no prizes, etc., just for fun. And this one guy, his name is Golden State Warrior. He would just always be supporting. And shout out to you if you're watching this video. I really appreciate you. Um, you know, I miss it when there are servers that they just have this group that they just care. It's not full of toxicity, like they genuinely care, and they have people who are willing to hear you out and simply want to hang out with you. Like that's genuinely what I loved about the Leeches Discord. It was very open, and they generally just took me in. Like it was never a dead server. It was a server filled with kind people, kind, hardworking people who generally they knew what it's like. They knew what it's like to not have a good day. They knew what it's like to simply you know be having the worst time, and simply they were just there comforting, etc., giving me advice all the time. And they never really bullied me or laughed at me. That's the one thing I loved about the Leech's Discord server, that it was filled with people who simply just wanted the best. Like they just worried, and they weren't filled with hate. They accepted whoever it was. It doesn't matter who you may be. Like they just simply were caring. And partially, it never really changed in that aspect. And that's why I'm not leaving that server. In fact, I think it's probably the first server I ever joined, unless you count Minds, which I created. I have no words. I mean, again, if you want to join a very peaceful, loving server, join the Leechess Discord. I think that Discord is the best Discord that you can get. It's not toxic. It's very chill, and the conversations are very neat. You always have people there wanting to play a game or just talk, and I think it's in my opinion, it's like a coffee shop. You have a coffee shop, you want to get your coffee, you want to have a very chill time. That's the place to go. If you want to do things a lot more exciting, maybe think about grander scales or whatever, join Moon server. That's what I would say. But again, you know, everything happens for a reason. I think I simply need to prioritize what's more important than caring about what people have to say all the time, and simply focus on the fact that it's a very unhealthy habit. Need to let go of it, and yeah, that's simply why I left Discord, at least partially, and deleted my own server. in the future, if I do reach like 50K subscribers, I'll consider getting a new server. But for the time being, I simply just don't feel like putting commitment into a server in which I simply do not feel a community that loves me. So that is genuinely my opinion, and I'm sorry some of you feel sad in hearing this. Probably none of you feel sad, or maybe a little bit of you feel sad, because there weren't really many members, but that again was the main reason why I simply decided to leave Discord. Like, I'm focusing on new goals, and I just do not want to deal with all the hassle and all the bullshit of all these haters around me and just trolling me. Like, I want to be part of that. I want to focus on a positive community, more positive influences in my life, from personal friends to maybe some, new interaction. Like, I don't know. I want to simply just enjoy my life and try to focus on what's really important and valuable to me. So, yeah, that's going to be all for this video. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. Shout out to the Leeches Discord. In a way, you guys are like my first weird home online. So, I always felt welcomed, and I hope every other player that joins feels welcomed as well. And again, shout out to Golden State Warriors as well for supporting me. Thank you guys. All right.